Yeah, so thank you guys. This trip that I found myself on riding with you guys, I think we did about 90 miles over the past 2 days, was truly life changing for me. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. Just I haven't ridden that much in a long time. And so it was a very inspiring to do it with a bunch of other like minded people, such as yourselves, from all over the world. So it was truly a blessing and an opportunity to get this to do with you guys. Just want to take a moment to recite the mission of the Right of Silence. The Right of Silence organization is rooted in the remembrance of cyclists who have been killed or seriously injured, but also is focused around promoting advocacy, education, and creating a culture where everybody can share the road respectfully and safely. Everybody, right? Pedestrians, car drivers, cyclists. I like to think of it as not car drivers versus bike riders, but we're all people who have different modes of transportation. Because I like to drive a car, I like to walk, I like to use all the other modes as well. So it's not just like us versus them, it's we're all people, and how do we bridge that gap to make that known to everybody and create that level of respect. Proudly can say I'm happy with the overall responsibility I saw from us as cyclists, because while we all have the rights to the road, in order to have the rights to those roads, we should maintain some responsibility. So, we stopped at lights. I saw very minimal what we call one-handed waves, one-finger waves to the drivers, if you guys know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, there was multiple times where we had close encounters, over these 2 days, and it can be very hard. Even I have good and bad days where it's hard to control my emotions when somebody, the way I would look at it is, puts a gun to your head and then they pull the trigger and there was nothing in there, right? And to me, that's what, like, somebody who drives a car right next to you is like. That's not something to joke about. That's not something to casually just go about your day. That can completely, change somebody's life, and not just somebody's life, but when one person is killed, it affects a huge part of the community, right? They could be a, mother, father, family member, part of your school, church, whatever it is that you do. One person is a whole big part of the community. Um, I'll share a story about one of the rides that I organized. We call it a tribute ride, when you just organize a ride that is for one person, right? So I organized this ride. A person was killed, retired husband. He went on a daily ride every day at the same time. He would come back. The wife noticed he wasn't back for a couple hours. She checked his GPS. He was 2 miles away. She went to go find where he was at because it was still for a while, and she found a crime scene taped off with police cars. And she was very upset and found that she no longer had a husband. And I was able to get in touch with the family to say, hey, because my thing is, whatever you guys want to do to honor this person, we're there for you. Let me know because I can gather the writers, I can gather the people. You just let me know. You have a lot on your plate right now. And we organized a ride about 3 weeks later. They wanted it on the weekend that they had the funeral because that's when the family would be there. And one of the biggest takeaways that I have of that is the daughter got up and spoke at the end of the ride, and she said that was the first time that she smiled since the passing of her father. And when I heard that, I was like, this is so important to have this ride, right? Because that changed the course, right? It's not a fun process at all to face a fatality of somebody you love. And so it it's something that's hard to even tell that story without obviously getting a little bit of emotion. But I just wanted to kind of share one example of just one ride that could be completely life changing for not just one person who got killed, but a whole community of people. Because there was about 80 people in attendance, and a lot of people were affected, and it raised awareness just by simply organizing a ride. I'd like to ask by a show of hands, how many people here know somebody who's been killed while riding or seriously injured, or knows of somebody? Please raise your hand if you know somebody. So it looks like most of us, at least half of us. That's a pretty telling number. Um, the reason I feel that it's so important to bring this up to you guys is because, as serious bike riders, we spend a lot of time on the road, and we take that right to the road pretty seriously, right? We all want to train, or we have some goal, or we do it for fun, but we all want to come back from our rides. And so you guys know that we assume the risk, and we know the risk. And people probably, I get it told all the time, you ride a bike, you're crazy, that's, what do you want to, there is that danger. So we take on that danger, and I felt that it was really, when I chose to kind of spend time with you guys versus being in the conference throughout the day, I knew that you guys understand the mission very critically, and potentially could help share that mission within your countries and local communities. Um, Another show of hands, could you please raise your hand if you guys organize rides in your own community? Do you, anybody here organize your own rides, like recreational fun? Anybody? If you organize a ride, okay. So I'd like to formally ask you, from me, the board of directors, all the other organizers around the world, if you could please consider organizing a ride in your local community. It's a very simple process for the annual ride. It happens in May. You have a lot of freedom to do it how you want. I am obviously a resource to help you guys with whatever questions you might have, but the website has some of the information. We are working through the process of updating our website. And, I believe some of you guys might be tearing up right now, and that's because, this Ride of Silence mission is not an easy thing to talk about, and it's not exactly fun and positive. But riding 90 miles in this heat up a bunch of hills isn't easy either sometimes, right? So I know you guys are very capable of taking on a task that is super meaningful and important, only happens one day a year. And so I just, again, want to ask you guys to please consider organizing a ride in your local community. And again, thank you for taking the time to really allow me to share the mission of the Ride of Silence, while also just really taking it in. Yeah, it's been an amazing couple days. I'm still slapping my face. I can't believe this is real, to have this opportunity to meet, ride, drink wine, laugh, collaborate, and maybe even tear and cry up a little bit. And I truly feel as though I've created a family here, of cyclists from all over the world, and has motivated me to want to come to your area, learn more, ride more with you. And the last thing I want to ask is a tradition that we do on the board of directors, where I brought, where we start every meeting with a moment of silence. And I thought that that was really important that we do that. So every meeting kicks off with that. And so if you guys all would be willing to, I'd like to maybe get up and join hands, and we do a quick moment of silence, and then I'll let you guys get to the pool, if that's okay. So if we could all stand up really quick and just join hands. So I'll go ahead and say, we'll go ahead and begin. We'll start our moment of silence, and then I say, thank you. There we go. And, feel free to simply just be silent, or share the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions for those who are no longer with us, and all those community members who are also affected by this. So, all right, let's go ahead and begin now. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you inviting me into your family, and so go enjoy the pool now. So thank you guys. Thanks.